So let's do it.
Batman. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Best of Batman series. Today we are reviewing our next movie, which is The Dark Knight. Yes, the second in the Christopher Nolan trilogy. And so I'm very excited. Welcome to the What the Fun show. I'm still with Joe. I'm still with Justin, my two compadres, my main mans. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm excited, and I will not slip back into my accent. You're good. Probably.
I'm doing all right. Quack, quack. The duck is back.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys. It's good to see you again. Well, hey, a little bit of housekeeping for you guys. If you have not already, please leave us a review. We would appreciate it. We only have 9 reviews, so get over on Apple Podcasts, hit that review button, and just let us know how we're doing. Let us know maybe ways we can improve. You could also go to Spotify Mobile and hit the star rating there. And if you would like to, please head on over to YouTube, see our very ugly faces. Wow. Yeah. And
talk for yourself here.
Yeah. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then comment down below what you think of, I'm calling it right now, potential masterpiece in The Dark Knight. So, housekeeping. Test Your Might, our weekly video game debate show, is still going strong as usual. New episode is out and about with friend of the show, Jarrett the Bear, joining. That was a really fun episode. I did get to listen to it already. And our Best of Batman review series will be continuing here soon. Hopefully this weekend, if we could record tomorrow as of this recording on The Batman. And then finally next week, Justin's next movie in our favorite movie series is coming up, so get excited. Justin, you excited to talk about that one?
I'm going to be a master of disguise.
Oh, a little bit of a tease. All right. Without further ado,
telling.
That wasn't a tease. That was flat out saying it. All right. We are reviewing once again The Dark Knight by Christopher Nolan. Story is all based on DC Comics and Batman, starring Christian Bale as none other than the Dark Knight, Michael Caine as Alfred, Heath Ledger as the Joker, Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon, well, Lieutenant Gordon, and then Commissioner Gordon, Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent.
Scary face.
That's
the one.
Maggie Gyllenhaal is Rachel, so Katie Holmes was recast. She did not come back.
I prefer Maggie.
I mean, we could have that debate for another time, but I preferred Katie Holmes. Morgan Freeman is returning as Lucius Fox. Helicopter. Music by Hans Zimmer. Release date, it did come out in the United States in July 18th, on July 18th of 2008. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but me and Justin saw this in theaters together. I believe you were in the group with me. So
pretty sure. We also saw The Dark Knight Rises and something else.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one. All right.
We don't talk about that one.
Budget of $185 million, and guys, this did break the billion in the box office. 1.006 billion with a B. Joe, I need your patent pending spoiler free review, please.
Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to my voice right now and you like Batman or bats or men, this movie has all of it. It's got bats, it's got men, it's got a Batman. If you like those things or think you're interested in those things, go ahead and give it a watch. It's very entertaining.
All right, Justin, can you top that?
Doubt it.
You want to see a magic trick? This has Heath Ledger, one of my favorites in here, playing the Joker. Spoilers a little bit, but sorry. If you didn't know that, I'm sorry. But it is by far one of the greatest superhero films in the world ever made. And if you haven't seen it yet, I don't know what you're doing. Stop listening to me right now. Pause this and go, because you don't want to get spoiled soon in the future here. Heath Ledger plays such a good role. Harvey Dent's in this. Mobsters are in this. Sorry, Joe. And of course, the Batman, the Dark Knight,
Is okay.
playing a great role of Christian Bale's amazing.
Batman playing a great
Amazingness.
role of Christian Bale.
Yes,
That's how that sentence came
and
out. Wait, did I
and
read
like
that
I
wrong? Oh yeah, yes. Bruce Wayne as Christian Bale in the movie, starring.
yes, exactly.
That's
See,
right.
I knew I was right. The duck's always right. So yeah, if you like Batman, like Joe said, if you like men, also like Joe said, this movie has both, and it's going
What about
to.
bats?
It has a few.
I'll be
bats,
honest,
too.
I hate
But,
bats. I hate bats. I've had a
even if
couple
you
in
don't
my
like
house.
bats,
not fun.
that's not good.
They're
There's
adorable.
not a lot of bats in this compared to the first one, Batman Begins.
That's true.
So you're in the clear for there. Lots more action, and it's shot mostly in Chicago, right? So
Yeah.
home
No,
where we
Gotham.
grew up.
You and Mike
it's
both got
awesome.
that wrong. It's in Gotham.
Okay. No, it's in
Gotham.
Chicago.
You guys
Metropolis?
keep saying
Metropolis.
No, that's a different one. Central City? Are we gonna do this right now?
Yeah, Gotham has real superheroes. Okay, so
Asterisks for
yeah.
viewers and
All right.
listeners.
I'm gonna
Superheroes,
yeah, no asterisks there. Chris Clow, help
Can
me
you top that, Mike?
yes, I can. This movie has not only is it a masterpiece. I will say it. I think it is a masterpiece. I love this movie to death. But just watching it over and over again, I get closer and closer to just loving this movie more and more. This last time, just when it opens, right? Me and Justin were in the theater back in 2008. We watched this and we see the Chicago skyline. So we're already sort of attached to this movie. And then when you get later on and they're going underneath into the lower streets, in a particular scene, my favorite scene in all the movie, like me and Justin, we drove those streets. We've driven those streets. That's Lower Wacker Drive. Like it just hits so well. But not to mention, like
You say Whacker Drive?
yeah, Lower Wacker Drive. That's what it's called.
That's the name. I like it. All right. Okay. We're just gonna move past that.
So yeah, this movie just hits that side of my growing up in the Chicagoland area. And that's not even mentioning the movie itself. We have one of the best crime dramas of all time, like sans superhero movies for a second. This is one of the best crime detective movies of all time. And then you have Batman in it, and it's one of the greatest. I think it is top 5 superhero movies of all time. So, yeah, The Dark Knight. I think Christian Bale's role in this certainly gets outshined a little bit by Heath Ledger's Joker. However, I still think Christian Bale holds himself high in this movie too. Michael Caine as Alfred is wonderful. Even though I preferred Katie Holmes, I still think Maggie Gyllenhaal did a fantastic job as well as Rachel, and then Eric Edhart as Harvey Dent, Aaron Eckhart, sorry, just all good stuff. Like this movie was casted perfectly. It had a plot that was driven the whole time. Like it just worked so well. So love this movie. You probably know by how Justin and I talked about it, our ratings later, but that will be for another time. All right. Let's get into spoiler territory. So if you have not seen The Dark Knight, please go ahead and pause this and let us know after you watch it how you thought about it. This is your spoiler warning. Hey, you.
What the?
What are you doing?
Who, me?
Do you want to be spoiled? No? Well then,
Stop it. Get some help.
so you don't feel like this guy. Instead, let it be a surprise.
Oh, I like surprises.
So go watch the thing before you move on in the podcast, okay?
Alrighty then.
All right, that is our spoiler warning. And I can't even podcast without these guys talking. All right, gentlemen, favorite moments. We'll start with you, Justin. What's one of your favorite moments of the movie?
Any moment that the Joker tells the backstory of where he got his scars.
I was literally just thinking that. So good.
Like from the first one, you're like, okay, cool, some Joker backstory. But then later on with Rachel, he does it again. And it's a completely different story. And he's just making it up as he goes. And it's kind of like a joke to him. Pun intended. And he's just like, he puts a knife in someone's mouth and he's like, you want to know how I got these scars? And it's awesome. Amazing drama, intensity, furiosity, deserves it during those scenes.
I think what sets those scenes apart is the music behind it too. Like just like this overall like muted slightly tone that Hans Zimmer puts behind it. It fits so well. Joe, you had a little bit of you wanted to talk about those sections too?
Oh, I just agree 100%. I loved that he changed it each time, that he has fun with his own origin story, right? I mean, we don't really understand it. We don't know it. This is our kind of first introduction in this trilogy of Batman film. And yeah, when we first meet him, he's like, yeah, my dad, killed my mom and then put a smile on my face. And the second time he's like, 100% different story. And I was expecting the same story again. It was fun to see him kind of play with that, and it's such a horrific thing. Mm-hmm. So to make light of such this like major horrific tragedy that probably turned him into who he was just very interesting, right? For the role and for Heath Ledger to make that, because I'm assuming that it was a little bit in part him and his acting ability that pulled that off. It was just good writing, good storytelling. Entertaining. Yeah, I really like those moments.
I think the best part about this movie is that the Joker is already an established character. We don't have to go through an origin story like the 1989 movie, or actually even Mask the Phantasm, which we've already reviewed. We don't have to. The point of this Joker is to have him sort of as this enigma, this like mystery, and for us to really not have any attachment to him. He is just a psychopath. And what's really cool about that is Heath Ledger just plays it off so well. And he's just this mysterious, psychotic supervillain. Like it's incredible the way that it happens. Joe, just another favorite moment, because I know that was sort of commenting on Justin's.
Yeah, I really enjoyed all of the Bruce Wayne scenes. I love seeing Bruce in a Batman film. I like seeing the different actors who have portrayed him over the years. I think that Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne is superior to his Batman. And so I really enjoyed his Bruce roles in this, when he travels to China, or when we get to see him in the restaurant as the billionaire playboy, or on the yacht as the billionaire playboy, or when he's just being a little bit sly detective, the China scene when he's trying to extract the gentleman from Hong Kong. Like, I like those moments. For me, I think that they make him more important as like the whole overall picture of who Batman is, because he's not just the man in the mask. He is also supposed to be this great detective who, outside of being a crime fighter, is really good and smart, and he's not just a one like dimensional character. He's supposed to be multidimensional, and I think they do a good job in this film of showing more of Bruce Wayne do other things.
Justin, something that Joe just said that I want you to comment on. I personally think that there are few Batmans that have portrayed the actor, or the character, that are a perfect mesh of Bruce Wayne and Batman. And I personally think Christian Bale is a perfect mesh of both, whereas Joe thinks he's a better Bruce Wayne than Batman. What are your thoughts?
I agree with you, Mike. I think that both Bruce and Batman are portrayed perfectly in this film. It comes down to the character of Batman and what you believe he is. Unlike the last film we reviewed, he doesn't kill in this for the most part. He doesn't first-handedly kill.
Yeah, but there's some questionable stuff that happens.
Yeah, but he doesn't like drop bombs. He's the character that he has a rule that he doesn't kill, and he tries to abide by that the best to his ability. And we see that in another one of my favorite scenes with the Joker, where it's a 1v1 matchup and the Joker's standing in the street with an assault rifle, and Batman is coming in flying on his bat bike, pretty much speeding at him, and the Joker just wants him to run him over. He wants him to kill him because he wants him to break Batman, break his rules. And Batman and Joker have this 1v1 duel almost.
Yeah,
and they're both screaming, you know, he's like, just hit me, hit me, hit me. And Batman gets so close and screams verbally that he doesn't want to break his rule, that he swerves and crashes his bike to avoid the Joker. Like the fact that the Batman character is portrayed so well, and then also the Bruce Wayne character with not being too richy-pritchy and trying to actually make a change in Gotham. He's doing a very very good job throughout all the movie, which I enjoyed. You agree, Joe?
Yeah, I like the moment where he's throwing the fundraiser dinner for Dent, and we get to see a fun mix, and like they play on it. Obviously, they meant to do it in the film. It's pointed out by Rachel or by Maggie Gyllenhaal's character when Bruce is absolutely making fun of Harvey Dent. I believe whatever, change is good, yada yada, and he's playfully, you know, punching down at Harvey Dent, you know, because if he were really a billionaire, kind of philanthropist, playboy, whatever, I do what I want, it's exactly how he would act. We've seen this before in real life. People, they play differently, and then you see the real side of it of, you know what, Harvey Dent, I said these things about you, but honestly, you know, I do believe, and you see kind of the softer side of Bruce Wayne. I really enjoyed, like I said, I really enjoyed the Bruce Wayne in this. The Batman, he's good. He is. I'm not going to argue Batman and Christian Bale's Batman. I will argue the voice that he chose for it. I don't think that's a surprise for anyone. It's just not good. But he did great with what he had. So,
well, coming from Begins, it was a roughier voice that he chose in that. So he wanted to make it a little bit more vengeful and a little bit more angry. So he added more roughness to it. And I think that tied really well with the Joker's voice to kind of contrast the characters throughout this film. You know, you have Harvey Dent later on as Two-Face, and his voice is also pretty gruffy, you know? So it's kind of a match throughout the film for the voices to show the curiosity in his voice and how angry he is with what's going on in Gotham. So I think that personally, it was a toned up version of Batman Begins, and it did very well. And that's why I think I like his voice in this one.
Yeah, I actually don't mind his voice. I know that even back then it was somewhat of a internet meme, right? Like, or something of a divisive thing as far as this movie is concerned. But you know, he really needed to get into the sort of like the flow of what Batman is. Like, he is vengeance, he is the night, and I think that the darker voice tone, the little bit more gruff to it, I think it worked better for the themes of this movie. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't agree. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I do want to say,
and he said things, and he did things.
I've got a Merriam-Webster definition of curiosity for you, meaning it's an actual word, and it's the quality or state of being furious.
Okay, yeah, this movie's pretty.
The duck
furious.
didn't make it up.
All right. So yeah, I've sort of already went into it, but probably my favorite scene in the whole movie is just when
Lower Wacker Drive,
right? Like, it's great. The chase scene and just having the cool thing about it is that I don't know if Joker was ever I don't think Joker, I think it was pretty clear that Joker never thought Harvey Dent was Batman. I think that chase scene in particular was his sort of ploy to get the true Batman out. And sure, whether or not he did figure out at the end of it that it was truly Harvey Dent could have been the end of the movie, but it ended up not being. He got the Batman out of, the Batman came out and was having this chase scene. And then you see that at the end of this scene when Batman just, this is so Christopher Nolan, right? But it's not like Transformers Christopher Nolan. It's still like grounded in it's still grounded within the story. Batman, goes under the semi truck.
Lower Wicker Drive.
No, under the semi truck with a zip line, and like weaves it around these light poles, and then this truck just flips over on its back, and then you see the Joker get out of the truck, and he's like, "Oh, there you are! Like, come on now," and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, so I think his whole motive of chasing Harvey Dent was actually to get the true Batman out, whether that was Harvey Dent or not.
Yeah, I did mention
Do you think
that
those
scene.
light posts would hold up?
Well, with the truck and everything else, it was just for tension. But like,
do you
I did
mean
mention that
hold
scene
up?
about how, like,
I mean, would it flip a truck? Do you think the truck would flip? I mean, you said it was grounded. I just wanted to push back a little bit on that. It felt a little bit Transformers-ish with the Christopher Nolan stuff. Not super believable that Cable wouldn't snap when.
Well,
a
I mean,
truck
this
drove into
is
it.
still a superhero movie, right? So you have to have the suspension of disbelief a little bit, but it's not like explosions everywhere, like just everything on fire, like and just Transformers everywhere.
That's fair.
It's
Also-
more of a muted Christopher Nolan take on destruction.
also,
Okay.
I think that there is some realism there because the truck was moving at high velocity, and the fact that the hard stop would cause a lot of momentum to keep going. So I think it is possible with the military grade cable that it was using off that bat bike to do that. Sure, there's some disbelief ability, a little bit of range, but there is some believability as well.
Yeah.
I did talk about that scene in particular when it came to the Bat's code and how Christopher Nolan played it very well
Yeah.
and kept true to the Batman that we love about not running over the Joker when he was out there and that kind of stuff.
So
already.
not Michael Keaton.
Not a Batfleck.
Yes,
or Michael
not
Keaton.
bomb
Yeah.
dropping. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that scene also brings out the introduction of the bat cycle, which I thought was pretty cool that it came out of the Tumblr Batmobile. Obviously, we haven't reviewed Batman Begins, but do you guys like the Tumblr? Do you like that
Yeah.
as a Batmobile? No.
I honestly, I prefer if we were going to rank them, it would go the original, and then it would go to the Batman, the one we're going to review soon, and then to the Tumblr. Honestly, I think that the military grade kind of takes away from the Batman sense that I grew up with.
Yeah, which is why
It was
I really love the
definitely new.
Batmobile from the Batman. From the newest one. It's
The muscle
my
car,
favorite. Yeah. Plus the sound design behind that. Anyway. All right, we're getting off track. A couple favorite moments. So let's go a little bit around the horn again. Joe, what's another favorite moment?
Oh gosh, from this one. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but the dinner scene when Bruce / Batman is throwing fundraiser dinner for Harvey Dent. I thought it was hilarious. How the scene started. I love how he's like making fun of Dent, and then he's like, but really, no, I like this guy. And then when we get the Joker scene started, he puts Harvey Dent in a freaking rear naked, right, and just chokes him out in front of Rachel, who happens to be Harvey Dent's girlfriend at the time. And he like doesn't explain anything, right? Drags him off, stashes those two in a room, and then walks through, and then he's walks in on people doing something in a private place, and they're like, "Oh my God,
Family
he's got a safe
friendly
room,
private place."
Yes, exactly. Thank goodness he's gonna help us, and we're gonna sit this out quietly in a safe room." He walks through, shuts the door on him. They're like,
Oh, okay.
or
Must be a
not.
safe room. Must be a safe room.
It's a very safe room. Can't get into it. So I really like that whole scene. I thought it was
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. I thought the way that they kind of paced it all was done perfectly. I really like this movie. It's a very good. It's a
My
very good
one
film.
gripe
and
with that scene is I thought his line when when Joker was like, "Oh, I like you," and then Batman's like, "Then you're really gonna like me." I thought that was slightly cheesy. I thought that was
funny.
I thought that was the Adam West being pulled out of this a little bit. I don't know. So
It could be a wonderful throwback. And then right after that, you have the part where he says, "Poor choice of words," and literally lets her go
yeah.
out of a window from who knows how many stories up. Like that's I think that's fun. Like, right? It's not fun in a fun way, but in an ironic, like, that's funny.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Justin, another favorite moment.
Yeah, tail back on that just a little bit. When Joker makes his entrance, he grabs a wine glass, throws the liquid out pretty much, and then takes a sip of nothing. Awesome
All
entry.
of it.
He just tosses the whole drink. Awesome, but I'm gonna feel like a Joker. I'm gonna feel like a Joker stan here because another one of my favorites is Joker as well. The interrogation scene. Come on, in the police department, when the Joker is
100%.
finally captured and he is interrogated by none other than Batman, and it gets a little brutal, but it's awesome, and it shows the. Let's say it.
Stop
it shows
using
the
it.
anger. It shows the anger that Batman has for protecting the ones he cares about, both Harvey Dent and Rachel, and trying to figure out where they are. Where is she? It means a lot to show the human elements to Batman, knowing he is a human. He's not some alien or some superhero that we've seen in movies. So I like that.
I agree. I thought some of the playing off each other, like when he hits the Joker's head on the table, he's like, you really shouldn't do that. Stuff like that is just good.
They get lightheaded.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Just man. Again, this movie is just so good. Let's talk about the Harvey Dent stuff too. Like, I think that.
I wish there was more.
Yeah, Harvey, Two-Face has not really been historically. His origin story hasn't historically been a supervillain, basically creating him. And that's what happens in this version of Two-Face. And I think that this makes this Two-Face so much more powerful because the Joker is under his skin in a way. I think eventually, if Harvey Dent were to have been in the third one or something, obviously he dies at the end of this, but if he were to be in the third movie or something like that, I know, spoiler, it would have been such a powerful Two-Face because of the impact and the influence that the Joker sort of had on him, and so I really enjoyed this sort of universe that they built going into the third movie. And obviously I think let's just call a spade. Like, they definitely would not have done Bane if Heath Ledger's Joker was still around. Like, if Heath Ledger was still around, I don't think they would have done Bane. I think they would have done a different movie because of how impactful that Joker is. We'll obviously never see that come to fruition, but I think that this Two-Face is potentially my favorite Two-Face ever, because of his
Better than
sort
Tommy
of
Lee
origins.
Jones?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Because of
and
his
I love
origin.
Tommy Lee Jones, but
I've got some
It just
piggyback
wasn't
off
it.
of what you said, Mike. So talking about the impact the Joker had on Harvey Dent, sure, he locked up criminals and half the mob organization was behind bars because of him, because he was a great noble leader for justice. And when he turned into Two-Face, it's like he went off the deep end. Like, literally just like straight off the deep end. All his morality went out the window. He was willing to kill a family, like a kid, based on a coin toss. Like, what?
50-50.
That's crazy. 50-50. like the fact that all
he
of
never
your
leaves it
morality.
up to chance, though.
Yeah, but morality is a thing. You shouldn't have ever taken that coin toss in the first place. Like the impact that had of changing his face and him wanting to kill Batman so bad, wanting to get Batman. Like it's the mental
it's not
state
even
that he
it's
had
not
to be
even
in.
getting Batman. It's more so it's more so just enacting vengeance on what happened with Rachel. I mean, that is why the Joker impact on Harvey Dent is so big here, because you have a man who clearly, as you said, Justin, has the morality to understand that the Joker is the reason Rachel is dead. And yet the Joker still influences him to become this villain. And that's what's so powerful about this Harvey Dent. I love this origin story. I think it's so top notch. Okay. Any other quick favorite moments before we just sort of talk about the plot and some trivia?
Michael Caine.
Oh yeah.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine is unbelievable as Alfred. Every scene he's in is perfect. He plays the perfect Alfred. I just love him in this movie. I think he's super underrated as a character in the film because he's not in it that much, right? He plays such a small role, but I believe it's so pivotal, and I think that Michael Caine plays the perfect Alfred.
Justin, anything else?
Yeah, I agree with that. Michael Caine did a great job, especially his lines towards Christian Bale himself. Like, whenever, like, oh, you want to be able to turn your neck. Oh, there's really big dogs, should be, like,
yeah.
It's great. But I think one of my favorite moments is right at the end, when the Joker is hanging by Batman's hand and the Batman drops him and catches him. And makes him think that the Joker won. He makes the Joker think that the Batman finally broke his rule, and then just wheels him back up, and he's just laughing maniacally with that not Christian Bale, the Heath Ledger laugh, and he's just hanging upside down, and we get that camera kind of like watching his face as he's crazy, for sure, because he is definitely crazy, as he was called that earlier in the film. He does have a plan, but he's definitely a little bit on the loony side.
Yeah. Well, but like that moment too, he says a line. He says, "You are truly impenetrable." Like knowing, as you said, Justin, knowing that I think the Joker's main goal, in a way, was to die, was to break the Batman. And
he was the one to do it.
Yeah, and have this sort of like this morality standard that Batman has crumble down. And I think that was his ultimate goal. And he was totally fine. He was totally fine with being the vessel in which that was carried out. It's very interesting that we bring this up, because what happens at that scene with the magic trick, right? Where he sees the guy on the little tube TV. He's like, "Hey, don't listen to this TV guy." What he says was, it's very simple. It's kill the bat. And what we just discussed there is that the Joker understands that killing the bat is not necessarily physical. It's metaphorical in a way that he's supposed to die to himself, to his code, and that's how you truly break the Batman. You could get to the third movie. If you can
destroy his image.
Yeah, you could get to the third movie and you could physically break the Batman's back like Bane did, or you could psychologically. This is why Joker is such a powerful villain. So, but instead, what is more impactful is to psychologically break the Dark Knight, and that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah, at the end of the film, he's Batman's basically a villain to Gotham. Like, they see him as a vigilante who needs to be brought to justice, and you ruin that hope, that view of Batman for everyone in Gotham, and that's what the Joker's plan was, and the Joker technically succeeded in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing he didn't do was make him actually break his code.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right, Mike. I think his whole goal from the very beginning, from the first time he says we need to kill the bat at that meeting, was never to actually kill the person, but to destroy the person that he was, so that everyone sees him for who he truly is, what his true, because people are corrupt, people are bad by nature, and he just wanted to prove that Batman, whoever this guy was just like everyone else.
Yeah.
There was a price that they would pay. There was a certain line that they would cross when pushed to whatever that point was, and he was certain that he would push him over the edge. The Joker was certain that he'd be able to push him past that limit, and he didn't.
Well, and that was that was the other
moral of the
thing.
story.
Yeah, and let's just use this as a segue to the overall plot. Joker's whole goal was not only to break the Bat psychologically, but break Gotham psychologically too. And that's everything that Gotham stood for was what Batman believed he stood for. And that is what the Joker was trying to break down. And we know that because he pinned the world's the Gotham's greatest criminals against the upstanding citizens on that boat, right? That was his ploy. It was like, hey, you guys can choose. If you choose, then the other boat, if you choose to destroy the other boat, then you get to survive. And knowing the Joker full well, he was going to kill them anyway. Like, let's be real here. I believe he would have fallen, I believe he would have gone through with it regardless. But it was to break the spirit of Batman, but also to break Gotham City too.
Well, yeah, he even went back and he was like, oh, well, none of them are pressing the button. I have to do plan B. And he was like, there's good people in the world, and he sees that. I'm sure he sees it because they didn't follow his plan. And he's a master of chaos, so obviously he has a backup.
For sure. Anything else from the overall plot? I think we covered it a lot with our favorite moments, but this movie works so well because it's a cat and mouse movie, right? Like Batman seems to always be a step behind, and then eventually he catches up, and it just works really, really well. But I think the Harvey Dent wrinkle in it all is that like you saw it coming because Harvey Dent from the comics. He becomes Two-Face, right? But I didn't think you saw this particular angle coming with, him becoming Two-Face, him taking Gordon's family, and him being so influenced by the Joker.
No, definitely not. Was it The Longest Dark or the comic that a lot of this was taken from, the mop stuff at least? And you don't really get that Harvey Dent backstory, let alone his coming of villainy. And I think Joker played a massive role in that for this movie. That's where that drive came from, is because of the Joker at heart. And I think that's why it's done so well, and that's why we get the character, because we saw him at his height, and then we see him at his low, and we see that whole transformation take place, and it's done so well.
Joe, anything else?
Nah, y'all covered it.
All right, cool.
I mean, I love Harvey Dent, love Aaron Eckhart's role in it, but you guys covered it.
Cool beans. Justin, hit us with that trivia, dude.
All right, I got a few here. So the bus crashing backwards into the bank in the opening scene. Yeah, in the opening scene was much harder to pull off than it was anticipated. The bus actually had to be taken apart and reassembled inside the building, concealed by a false wall. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It was propelled backwards with the air cannon.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were not done.
No, it was concealed by a large false wall and then propelled backwards with an air cannon.
That's wild. That's practical too. Like they didn't do it, CG or anything, which is cool. But talk about one of the best openings of all time in a movie. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
we didn't even touch that, but the plan that Joker had for each person to kill their partner, and then eventually, I was supposed to kill the bus driver, and then the bus driver kills the last guy because he's onto something. Like, I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to kill me, but he's supposed to kill the bus driver. It was just flawless. It was so good.
Yeah, that was such a good opening with that bank robbery, and the fact that we didn't really know that was the Joker for the most of it. Towards the end, we kind of got a feeling, but the Joker was in the forefront of the opening scene the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And there,
yeah,
hidden perfectly behind a mask.
Not hiding behind his goons. He was actually helping with the robbery. Awesome. Okay, so next one. While filming the chase scene with the Joker and the SWAT teams, one of the only 4 IMAX cameras in the world was destroyed.
Wow. Okay.
I bet that's expensive.
I remember this being a huge IMAX release back when it came out. That's wild.
Heath Ledger had to continuously lick his lips due to the prosthetic coming off whenever he spoke, but he eventually made it a tick of the character to tie in with the film.
Are you kidding me?
He was always
one of the best
You'd
parts.
see that. Yeah.
One of the best parts of his character and his mannerisms, is just because prosthetics were coming off. That's just masterful. And then he uses it. Oh, so good.
Yeah. Heath Ledger was great. This made more money than Batman Begins' entire domestic run in only 6 days.
Whole domestic run.
Wow.
So
yeah,
I mean, Batman Begins still made a good fair bit of money, but domestically, that's insane. In
6
6
days.
days.
Entirety.
6 days. The theater, I remember it vividly. The theater that we went to, Justin, it was packed. It was packed.
It was packed for weeks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Started with the magic trick. Let's continue. To create the magic trick scene, the henchman's head was actually slammed against the table with a rubber buffer 22 times. The only time Ledger broke character on set was the first 3 times in which the henchman was knocked out.
Oh no.
22 times.
Yo,
Yeah,
that poor
whoever
guy's
was
got
the
some
stump
CTE.
double, I was just about to say that. Holy cow.
If you actually listen to that scene, you hear the gushy crunch of the eyeball before the thud of the table. It's really well done.
Wow.
In that scene.
I did not pay that close attention.
I do. All right. And as for Harvey Dent, we all love him. In Harvey's office, law books are neatly organized on the left side, while case files are in a chaotic mess on the right, hinting at Harvey's eventual transformation into Two-Face.
I did pick up on that,
notice
though.
that.
Yeah, when you're first introduced to him, they walk into his office and it looks like all bare bones. You have that beautiful whole back wall of windows. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything on the close shelf is totally organized, and then all of his cases were literally all over the ground in boxes. The shelves themselves were, I was like,
really good imagery.
But now I understand why.
Yeah.
There we go. Some trivia for the Dark Knight.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Joe, hit me with your rankings. Out of 5, we're going to be going 5 being amazing, 4 being great, 3 good, 2 okay, 1 bad. What you got?
It's a 5. I mean, it's got to be. It's got to be a 5. It's such a good film. Just a film alone, remove every bit of superhero whatever from it. If it was just dropped at any point in time, this film is good. It's amazing.
Is this your favorite Batman film of all time?
Maybe. Okay. I don't know. I have to rewatch is the problem. I have to rewatch Batman, and then I have to rewatch Mr. Freeze's Batman. That one might be.
You should watch the good one.
Poison
Sub-Zero,
Ivy,
the
Bane,
one.
Mr. Freeze. No, I need Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. I need the Schwarzenegger
the
Freeze.
Ice Age. Or the dinosaurs, the Ice Age. I'll go next, Mike.
Justin, go ahead.
I'm gonna give this one a. Oh, we're not on that show. This is a 5 out of 5 must watch for Batman fans and superhero asterisk fans alike. This is
will not stand for the slander.
one of the best Batman movies ever created. One of the best acted Batman movies ever created. And even if you don't like Batman, this is a great crime movie. One of the best detective works and crime movies you can watch of the new age, with great visualization and action and music along the way. Great villains, great portrayal of those villains, and the hero was also portrayed to a T, for the way that I believe. So must watch, 5 out of 5 from the Duck.
Yeah, we're going perfect rating here. 15 out of 15. I'm going 5 out of 5 as well. There's no way that I could rank this lower than a 5. It is essential viewing for anybody who loves movies. Like this is a must watch even if you're not into the superhero genre. It is one of the greatest crime dramas of all time. It has one of the greatest performances of all time in Heath Ledger's Joker. And it has a bunch of other people doing their best in their roles underneath that. Like, this is 100% a must watch, even if you don't like Batman. It is a grounded story that just hits at every single turn. This cat and mouse chase, or bat and mouse chase, it is a must watch. Okay.
Dog chasing cars, all kinds of chases.
Yeah. It was a really big dog. Okay. All right.
Yeah, like a chihuahua.
Now we get into our Batman rankings. So obviously all of ours as of right now, I believe, is Kevin Conroy, and then going down second is Michael Keaton. Where does Christian Bale fall on your Batman portrayals? I'm going to go your way first, Justin.
On top. This is the top for me. Portrayal, both Bruce and Batman's portrayal in this film are perfect for me. And I enjoyed the modernization of it. And the outfit, there was no nipples. It looked great. And
no, they were just inside the suit where they should be.
Yes,
just
true.
inside the suit.
I enjoyed this suit very well, and I enjoyed the voice even to show that curiosity that Batman deserves in this film.
Joe, where's Christian Bale landing on your rankings?
He's also atop my list now. Yeah, he's got to take the top spot. I love Keaton's Batman. I love the animated Conroy Batman, but Christian Bale for me has the top spot for now.
For now, wow. Kevin Conroy is still at the top for me. I think Christian Bale is my second, above Michael Keaton. I just think Kevin Conroy has just this atmosphere about him with his voice and his portrayal of Bruce Wayne and Batman. But Christian Bale is a very close second at this point. I think that he does a remarkable job. And I can't wait to see where Robert Pattinson or Battinson shows up on our list next episode.
Yeah, Edward.
All right, that has been our review of The Dark Knight. Let us know what you think about The Dark Knight in the YouTube comments below. Please, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like the video. Thank you so much. And if you are on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review there. Spotify on the mobile app only. If you want to follow us on Twitter at WhatTheFunPod, you can find our updates there. And this has been our Dark Knight review. Best of Batman series. That's Joe. That's Justin. I'm Mike, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Adios.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.